Radio, V81 Radio. V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Our Almighty God, Creator of heaven and earth, Father and lover of our soul, you sit on your throne of mercy and rule with your love and faithfulness. You are full of grace. We acknowledge your presence in our lives. Nothing is hidden in your eyes, even our challenges and struggles in life. We come to you with faith. We ask not only for our daily spiritual bread, but to seek your forgiveness and undeserving favor to heal our land, our family members, our friends and neighbors, even our enemies with COVID-19 and other diseases. Holy Spirit, help us to deepen our faith and see the opportunity to believe, obey, and worship. As we face this pandemic, you are Lord and God. Encourage us and change our hearts, not to fear, but to be full of hope and find ourselves praying and meditating your word. We believe no works of the enemy prosper to your children. Abba, Father, we believe that your Son Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. He is the truth and our salvation. Hear our prayers, O Lord, and most of all, not our will, but thy will be done. We pray this in Jesus' name, the name above all names, who was and is to come. Amen.
Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kanta at programang Tatak Pinoy. Napapanood at napapakinggan kahit saan ka man. Streaming worldwide. In South Manila, this is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Dahil mahal namin kayo.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan, kahit nasaan ka man ito'y mapapakinggan. Oh,
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Dahil mahal namin kayo.
V81 Radio, V81
Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. Dahil mahal namin kayo. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host, the show, this station, the management, and the network. Here now is the program for the millennials that will showcase young professionals' worth, aspirations, and successes in doing what they believe is right, progressive, and inclusive. Join them as they discover the path to self and societal fulfillment while making a difference. Hosted by empowered and cool millennial Erika Mison, together with her fellow millennials, they will be making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Good afternoon, everyone. You are now tuned into Making a Difference. This is a show created to inspire and motivate the youth of today. My name is Erika Mison, and I am the host of Making a Difference. So, welcome and happy Saturday, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Last Saturday, I had two ladies on the show. Si Nicole and Lila, founder and co-founder from Bangon Bicolandia. The organization started out during the pandemic to help out the people in Bicol during the typhoons that we had last year. So if you want to watch that episode, you can find it on our Facebook page, that is Making a Difference. You can also watch that episode and all my other episodes starting season 1 on V81 Radio's YouTube channel. So, before we begin and before I introduce to you our lovely guest for today, of course, we have our usual question of the day for the viewers. And I hope you're all ready for this question because it's another trick. It's not super tricky. But shout out to Troy and Angel for coming up with this question. It's an interesting question and I want to know your thoughts on this. So can we flash the question of the day, please? Oh, there we go. It's it's short, but not as sweet. Kidding. Okay, so what is freedom? What do you guys think is freedom? You can answer the dictionary. What do you call this? You can answer the dictionary meaning, or it's up to you guys. Or you can also share your thoughts on freedom. So let me know by commenting down below what is freedom to you, and I'll read them out later at the end of the show. So there, that's about it. So again, what is freedom? Now, okay, let's begin today's episode. I would love to introduce to you our guest for today. Her name is Hannah Manuel. She is the Education and Advocacy Co-Head of the Online SDG Youth Action Forum, or OSYAF. So, welcome, Hannah. Woo. Okay, can we have Anna? There
Hi.
she is.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, Hannah. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be on here. Hi, Erica.
I'm so excited to talk to you. I mean, we were talking since a while ago, but this is the real conversation.
Yes,
Oh,
the
but
real
anyway,
deal.
right? Okay, so for those of you who are watching, don't forget to share Making a Difference. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends and your family and get them to watch. And if you have any questions for Hannah, comment them down below, and we'll get her to answer those questions later on. Okay, so Hannah, let's talk about you first before we dive into what you do. So tell us something about yourself. Where are you still studying now?
Yes, I am actually an incoming grade 12 student taking up STEM at Xavier School in the Valley.
Oh, nice. Okay. And why STEM?
Well, really, in all honesty, it was really hard for me to like the whole process of picking out a strand was really difficult for me, like
Mhm.
entering grade 11. And I had really considered taking either one of the three strands Xavier provided. But I found that STEM was the most well-rounded strand that I could apply to whatever career I plan on taking, which is good for me because I'm still very undecided on what I plan on taking.
And that's fine. It's totally fine. It happens, and I hope you get to where you want to be. But a while ago, you mentioned you had something in mind. What do you wanna take up for college, or what are you thinking of taking up for college?
Well, I do have some inclination of trying to go for communication. So being on the show has been like an extra fun experience for me.
I think it's a sign. I think it's a sign. You know, you being here today, and then you're thinking of taking up communication, and then there.
You know what? You know what? It's just fate. I'm pretty sure. I have to agree with you.
Okay, all right. Do you have any? Okay, besides than doing what you do, which we will talk about in a bit. Do you have any other interests or other hobbies? What do you do during your downtime?
Oh yeah, I'm interested in so many things. But primarily, I guess I'm interested in the arts or anything creative. So that's visual arts, writing, music, photography, like even, broadcasts like this.
Mhm.
It's I don't really know how to describe it, but it's really just sorry to be deep, but like how the fact that people are so cool, and they always have a story to tell. And I really like interacting and viewing those stories, like however medium it's in.
Nice.
Which is
No,
also
that's a good boy.
probably why I
Yeah.
really like learning. So I really like art history and Filipino heritage. Like I've been stalking the National Museum's Facebook page for like 2 months now. They have such good
Ganda, no?
content there.
Yeah, ganda. I actually do wanna go back to the National Museum when it's fine. When we can. But I mean, they're open, right? They're open, naman.
They're
Yeah.
open, but I'm pretty far away, so I wouldn't
Right.
be able to.
Yeah, I know it's far, but hopefully we could visit the National Museum. Okay. So what, since you mentioned that you like reading about art history and like Philippine heritage, what's your favorite so far, or like what really what really spoke to you? Does that make sense?
Well, to me, I suppose it's been learning about our national dress, traje de mestiza or the terno. It's a relatively new topic that I've found, but there's a lot of sources, a surprising number of like sources to like read about it. There are books about it. There are Facebook communities that like share all types of information about it. And fashion has always been something I've really liked ever since I was really little. So seeing its political and cultural relevance in our country is just something that's so interesting to me.
Yeah, it's so nice. I when I see that, especially when you visit museums, and then they show what they used to wear. Honestly, like I like it. They look so proper.
They're
Like
so proper, but it's so empowering too when you
yeah,
think about like how all the things people in like Ternos did like during the revolution. Like,
there you go. It is. It
amazing.
is. I know. So every time I see it, like I get goosebumps. Honestly, I really do. Like when you visit like the history side, and then you see all of this, and grabe, this actually happened. This happened, and this made us where we are now. This put us where we are now. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. I agree
I
with
agree.
you.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, so now let's talk about OSIAF. So if you've been a frequent viewer of the show, you would see OSIAF's logo. So shout out to the awesome Mark Jacinto. I'm not sure if he's watching today. Ang dami niyang ganap in life. But Mark, I hope you're doing okay. I haven't spoken to him in such a long time, but Mark and some members of the OSIAF team has been helping out, making they've been helping out the show, and they've been such a big help. So thank you guys, and yeah, Hannah is here and she's from OSIAF. So, pero can you give us a brief background of OSIAF? Like, what how did it start? What do you guys do? So that other people, the viewers, are aware of OSIAF then.
Yeah, sure. Well, initially, the online STG Youth Action Forum was a one-off event that happened back in March of last year, 2020, where youth leaders who were passionate about sustainable development and sustainable development goals
Mm-hmm.
talked and connected with each other. I had personally attended, but I had gone in completely blind. I didn't have any experience with orgs, had never really done any volunteer work before. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, as someone who had no experience, I was still so invested in the ideas being shared, and I had met people from all over the Philippines, from different age groups, all with different stories to tell about being youth leaders in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, after OSF ended, well, quote unquote ended, the Facebook group that was used for the attendees stayed up, and the organizers of OSF just kept sharing webinars and conference opportunities for the members of the group to explore. And that was helpful for me and a lot of people my age who are like students and fresh grads who had trouble finding their footing in volunteering, especially like when the lockdown was fresh and everyone felt so isolated from each other. There was really a need back then, and I guess up to now, to bridge youth leaders to events and events to youth leaders. And OSF became that bridge for so many people. And
Yeah.
it continues being a bridge and an online community doing work for the sustainable development goals, by bringing all the assets and resources a youth leader would need straight to them. And
Mm-hmm.
it really is just such an empowering organization, and I'm so happy to be a part of them.
Yeah, and I'm also happy and blessed to be partners with Mark and the OSAF team. Yeah, I know I see a lot of you guys are really helping and pushing youth to, really become great leaders. Because as cliche as it sounds, we are the future, right? The youth, we're the future generation. So,
We
um,
embrace the cliche. I think it definitely still applies.
yeah, it does. It does. And so, yeah, you guys are doing such a great job, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. If you guys want to follow OSIAF, check them out on where else are you guys online?
Well, you're always free to join our Facebook group, where you can have access to all those resources I mentioned completely for free. Um, and we also have a newly launched Instagram page. It's a lot newer than our Facebook handles, but we still post a lot of great content there. So be sure to
Yeah,
check it out.
ganda. Ganda ng content niyo. Kasi,
Thank
yeah,
you.
all. Sana all.
And
Okay.
that's
All right. So, how did you start? Okay, what's your story with OSIAF?
Well, I mentioned kanina that I had joined their first event as OSIAF, but I had never really, I've always been kind of orbiting around them until January, where I had been approached by Kuya Mark Jacinto,
Of course.
uh, talking to me about if I was interested to join the core team. And me, from like a year, like it was probably almost a year between that first event and the talks about joining the team. And in between that, I had garnered experience mainly in writing and researching content for all types of orgs all over the place. So I
Yeah.
had So I had agreed to join the education and advocacy team, and yeah, it's I've been um, helping out since then.
Okay. And what do you do as co-head of the education and advocacy? What do you call that?
The
Sep-
education and advocacy team. You can
team.
say team.
Okay, team.
That'll be
Pwede na palang team. I'm just making it difficult. Pero pwede palang team.
It's okay. I
Okay.
appreciate the words being thought of right now.
Yeah.
But yes, along with my other co-heads, Mary and Julia, who are like the loves of my lives, they're my saviors, talaga.
Mary, wait. I think Mary's also help. Is it Mary who's also helping us out? I can't.
Mary Carpio?
Do you have another Mary? Or
Not that I know of.
okay, but I think so. Okay.
You know, it
Sorry.
would probably be Mary. She does so much.
Okay.
She does a
Good
lot.
to
She's
see. Sorry.
amazing.
Go ahead.
But anyway, our team is focused on creating content um, to give little tidbits on how to do different things according to different aspects of sustainable development through certain segments we have educational posts, more prominently our segment called How to Tuesday, where we usually partner with organizations that specialize in some certain aspect of sustainable development, and
Mhm.
we create content to teach certain skills related to that area. We had my personal favorite How to Tuesday segment we've done was with Kids Who Farm, who had taught us
Yes.
how to create and plant um, crops in our house. And it was such a great learning experience. And Sir Munir was just such a great teacher. Everyone had such a wonderful time.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Kids Who Farm. They were also featured actually on Making a Difference. So hello to Kids Who Farm, and
And
yeah, and it's because of OSIAF. See, OSIAF has been such a big help, and you know what? I don't know why. Eventually, Mark will also be on the show. I am 100% sure. I will have Mark on the show, and we are just gonna keep talking and talking. Baka the show
we
might
will
not
we will
end.
wait for that to happen.
Okay, great.
It'll be the culmination of everyone mentioning Kuya Mark.
Yes. No, that's so true. I have other guests from different organizations who know Mark, and they mention Mark on the show.
Yeah, he's
So I think,
everywhere. He
right?
really does so much for
Yes,
everyone.
yes. And he is amazing. He is an amazing person. And for those of you who want to see him, uh, I will have him. I'm sure you're curious. Who is this Mark? Who is this
The
famous
elusive Mark
Mark?
Jacinto.
I will have him one time on the show. Actually, that's a good idea. Yeah, I will have him one time on the show. Okay. Okay. So I'm sure when you started out, you were just a member, right? And then it led up to you being the co-head. So, did you have any plans on being the co-head of the education advocacy team?
I really did not. I had been involved in OSIAF's projects prior to that. So I had the first OSIAF, and also back in November when typhoons Ulysses and Raleigh hit the Philippines, and OSIAF had brought together all these orgs to create hashtag YouthDiesPH. I had been a part of that and helped as a contact tracer. But I had never really been into direct working contact with Kuya Mark. So it was extra surprising and extra touching that he would put his faith in me right away. But, forever grateful for that. Wouldn't have it any other way because now I've met so many people and learned so many new things.
Yeah, you really being part of an organization. Honestly, it helps you grow, helps you learn. So it's great. So for those of you who are watching and you're thinking of joining an organization, you can join OSIAF and the other organizations that I've had here on the show, just to really help you and educate you, diba? So go ahead, diba? And okay, speaking of, are you is OSIAF open now to volunteers, or let's say somebody is watching and they're interested to help out in OSIAF? Are you guys
Well,
open?
we do usually have a routine application season for community contributors. So that's people who really work behind the scenes to help provide the content and the resources OSF provides. But if ever that's not your forte, if you want to have something that's more that can really be more flexible around your own schedule. Like just being a part of the community, joining the Facebook group, that's already a great way to support us and be able to have you to give yourself access to all the things we mentioned.
So there you go. Check out OSIAF on Facebook, reach out to them, and yeah, I mean, just by sharing your materials, I'm sure that would be great help. Then
Yes.
they have
You
and
don't
you,
know.
diba?
Interacting and sharing really goes a long way for a lot of people.
Exactly. And you have they have great projects. They have great webinars in all they're all interesting. And speaking of your projects, are you does OSIAF have any ongoing um project or webinar? Meron ba?
I would
Or
have to say, well, out of the ordinary, the thing kasi with OSF is that day in day out, there are just so many opportunities being thrown at. So even if I were to like mention one, it feels a little unfair to like mention like everything else because everything is great. You know what?
yeah,
Join the Facebook group.
there you
You'll
go.
see all
There
the
you
projects.
They have so much. They really have so much. So, while I know we're still kind of under quarantine. Yes, we can go out, but if you're just staying at home most of the time, like me, you can check out OSIAF and join a couple of their webinars, or yeah, just check out what they're up to. So, okay, Hannah here is not only the education and advocacy co-head. She does quite a lot more, and I'm interested to know what other organizations are you associated in now?
Well, my other main association is WeTech, Youth for Women in Technology, specifically their Manila chapter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the editors for their blog. But to talk more about WeTech, it's really just an organization that's really all about bridging the gap and raising up women and other people not as recognized in fields of tech and the greater STEM field.
Amazing.
And
You
it's
know,
all completely it's all the youth. Everyone's in college, everyone's like in high school even. I'm a 17-year-old. That's probably the median age of people in VTech.
nice, nice. You know what? There are a lot of talented women, especially in tech. And
Definitely.
it's great. It's great to know that there are organizations and that you're part of it. So, um, so you write blogs for sorry, what's the name again of the organization?
It's called WeTech.
We Tech.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, um, how doing all of this, writing for WeTech and being the education and advocacy co-head for under OSIAF. How did it help you pursue your own personal advocacy? Would you mind sharing pala what is your personal advocacy?
Well, if I'm really being honest, going into all this volunteering, I've never had one fixed advocacy.
Mhm,
Um, with all the opportunities to help around, I've always really just tried to see where I can offer my help and did that accordingly. So,
mhm,
WeTech, that's for women empowerment and education. SIAF is also for education and sustainable development. Um, I had done some volunteer work for Bye Bye Plastic Bags and Kids for Kids under the
mhm,
Tayo brand. Sorry, it's kind of a lot. And that was for environmental help and for I guess just the whole spectrum of socio-civic. I really tried my best to help in any way I can in any corner of what that word entails. So
Mhm.
maybe as a personal advocacy, the skill of writing and researching has just really helped overall, not just in my personal work, in school as well, and also just in helping me be able to express myself more. I've always loved writing, but I've never really felt like I've ever had the opportunity to write until I've been given all these lucky opportunities to do.
Nice. Congratulations. You are able to write more. You get to pursue what you want to do, right? Okay, so we are gonna go on break for a couple of minutes, but when we come back, of course, we are gonna have Hannah here and we're gonna talk more about what she does. So stick around and we'll see you after a couple of minutes.
We'll be back shortly, making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Ngayong May sa Home Not Alone, Songs from Home with Papa Gio, Karen Sita, Nonoy, Jessica Villarubin, MYMP, Alisa Bonaobra, and Michael Maniago, and the Gibbs Sisters. Oh, wag ka absent ha, dahil back-to-back na. Wednesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. California time, o Thursdays and Fridays, 10 a.m. Philippine time. For sure, back-to-back din ang kwentuhan, kulitan, kantahan, at tawanan. Home Not Alone, Songs from Home with Papa Gio. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio, Los Angeles.
Is your business lucky or not at the moment? Have no fear, luck can be near or right here. You are lucky to meet the Feng Shui Master. We welcome you to the online luck mentoring program to help you unlock solutions to business case problems and profit with honor and lucky prosperity. Relax and enjoy your fun learning with your partner in luck, Master Aldrich Nalumpines. Broadcasting live from Big Media, this is Philippine Business Feng Shui.
Get into the treasure trove of undiscovered music through Napalm, your new all-Pinoy alternative music program. Whether it's rock, metal, reggae, soul, or pop, we have it covered. Napalm features upcoming Pinoy artist and musician, hosted by your alternative revivalist, Charlie Diaz, and resident rockista, Pards Moro. So sit back and relax. Enjoy Napalm. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila, where alternative lives. Now back to Making a Difference. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Welcome back to Making a Difference. So if you are just tuning in right now, my name is Erika Mison and you are watching the show created by the youth for the youth. So we have a lovely guest here on our show for today. Her name is Hannah Manuel and she is the co-head of the Education and Advocacy Team under the Online SDG Youth Action Forum, or OSYAF. So before the break, we got to talk to her about OSYAF, what she does, and what she has learned so far. So I'd like to call back Hannah on screen.
Hello.
There we go. Hi, Hannah. Okay, so you mentioned you wanted to add something more to the last, so the previous question. Okay, so the question before the break, I asked Hannah. So from joining the two organizations, and actually you've volunteered for a couple more. How has it helped you pursue your advocacies?
Well, on top of helping me improve my skills of writing and research, which is really important in a lot of the things I do right now, it's really just connecting and communicating with people in general has really been such a big lesson that I've been able to refine. Well, not to be too full of myself, but to refine and improve significantly. Um, Being more open to hanging out with people, opening up um, before the pandemic. I had really had a I was a pretty introverted person. I
Okay.
think I still am, but I'm just a lot better at managing it now. Um, I would have had such a hard time joining all these summits, um, joining all these really intimidating conferences that I've never tried before. And I don't know, it just getting used to it and doing it repetitively has really helped me run through the motions and enjoy doing it.
Nice. That's good to hear. You know, you when you're part of an organization, you're kind of forced to interact. So, I
I don't
believe
want to comment on that.
you know, I mean, okay, you because you have to talk to, of course, your team members, then your heads, and
Yes.
of course your volunteers and all that. So I feel like introverts who join organizations will eventually become extroverted. Maybe not too extroverted, but it will help them.
Yes. It's
Like
definitely helped me as an introvert.
there you go. So again, if any of you are interested in joining an organization, don't forget to check out OSIAF, or you can check out also the other organizations that I've interviewed here, because a lot of them actually have been in partnership with OSIAF, like Kids Who Farm and Kids for Kids and a lot. There's a lot. Okay, you know what? I totally forgot. So we have a question of the day for the viewers, and can we flash that before we continue on with the conversation with Hannah? So for those of you who are watching, we usually have a question of the day. I would love to hear your thoughts, and this is the question: what is freedom? So for you, what is freedom? You can answer your personal opinion about freedom, or you can also quote the dictionary. It's fine. So I want to know your thoughts on this, guys, and I'll be reading your comments at the end of the show. So again, what is freedom for you? Thank
You
you
know,
for
this
flashing the
question is
question.
so hard. This is such a hard question.
It is again a shout out to Angel and Troy. And they were the ones coming up with the questions. So there are some days that's me myself. I get so surprised. Like wow, that's a pretty heavy question. But you know, my viewers they answer it, so it's good.
Oh,
It's great. Yeah,
I 100% believe the viewers of the show are like really good.
yeah.
Do you ever
So
feel pressured to have to answer all of them? All the questions
wow,
you get?
okay. I love how I was asked the question.
Oh my
I
god, sorry. This is my
no,
content
it's
creator side
fine.
showing up.
It's fine. You know, I miss being interviewed. But okay, sorry. What was your question again?
Do you ever have trouble answering the questions that you guys flash here?
Thank you for that question, Hannah. Okay. Um, do I have th- I know I have answered a few, but not all. Especially if I know it's kind of no, I'm just kidding. But um not there's not much pressure. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do answer the question and I share my thoughts as well. So thank you for that question. I appreciate
Of
it.
course.
I'm
Of
so
course.
happy I was asked the question today. Usually I ask
My
the question.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so let's continue the conversation. So now that we got to know Hannah and her active lifestyle, um, with everything you've done so far, for you, what is your greatest achievement that you are proud of and you want to share with the viewers today?
Hmm. That's another really good question.
Another, I know. These are like
Um,
Miss Universe questions. I think.
I know. I feel
I
so.
think.
I
I
don't
think
feel any
Angel,
pressure right now. Just kidding. Oh my
I
gosh.
think Angel and Troy are just they get inspiration from Miss Universe. I hope they're
They should
watching.
really try applying to that team next time.
Actually, they should. They should, and then they need to but they change the question, so they need a fresh. If they need a fresh set of questions, I would totally recommend Angel and Troy. Galing na mga
Yeah.
tanong nila.
If we need a new Miss Philippines, we can recommend Angel too.
Oh, okay, there you go. Nako, Angel, sana you're watching this show, this episode. Hannah is like,
Oh,
he's really promote. Actually, I would definitely vote for Angel, no doubt. So go, girl. You got time. I
okay.
can be your manager.
Okay. But I'd have to say my greatest achievement so far has been organizing or being a part of the organizing team for this benefit gig that our school had done called Saving Valley Music Kapwa. Um, it was a benefit gig that happened around September. Um, it was a post Buwan ng Wika celebration where we had come together and found Filipino acts to come and perform both from our school and outside to raise money to donate to 10 schools around our area. And it was such it was just such a fulfilling experience for me because um, apart from it being having achieved what it achieved, being one of the first um, online socio-civic projects our school did that was also led by students. Um, just being able to work on initiatives and causes like this with people I'm close to in my school was such a great experience for me because
Mhm.
most of my volunteer work happens outside of school. So it was a really great and new experience, all while
Okay.
being familiar.
Okay. Congratulations, by the way,
You
on that project. So were you the head of that project, or I
I
know you
was
the okay.
part of the communications team or the
Mm,
I was in charge of contacting the performers, and I think to be honest that's another place where I was so grateful to learn about to like really get better at communicating with people because
mm,
that was really intimidating having to um contact um, all these artists, some big names, some people who we don't know on a personal level. It's really hard to get off that awkward push afterwards. But it really paid off. We got to pull really memorable acts. Bamboo performed during our concert, and we had also gotten to pull some really really talented acts from the college indie music scene. We had talked to UP Music Circle, and we had gotten two acts from them. Incredibly, incredibly talented. I've even started following one of them. Just such a great experience overall.
nice. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed, and I'm glad to hear that it was a success. It sounded like so much fun. I miss doing that. I miss doing that now. We can only fast forward. Okay. Um. Okay. This is another Miss Universe question. Are you ready for this question?
I guess I am. Yes.
Okay. So, when did you learn how to be independent? Because with everything that you've been doing, and we've been talking for a couple of minutes now, and I can personally see that you're pretty independent at such a young age, which is
Oh,
good. I mean, not fully independent, but you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, and you're talented as well. So, uh, when did when did that happen? When did you, or are you did you ever have like a light bulb moment na, oh wow, like I this could like totally help me out with my other things, my other activities.
well, I think when it comes to independence in the form of taking up leadership positions or bigger tasks that I wouldn't originally really like seek out actively. I think that form of independence really comes from me thinking about, well, if no one else is gonna do it, might as well me, or someone has to get it done. So it
Mhm.
it's gonna help people. So might as well.
Right, right, right. And in your opinion, follow-up question. In your opinion, how does one become strong and independent? You know what, the questions today are so mischievous. Sorry,
They are really.
I hope you're you're not as pressured. We're
No,
not.
it's fine. Buti na lang walang time limit. I would have been so mad.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really want to give these
Oh,
questions some
okay. 1 minute
attention.
lang. Nako,
No,
medyo.
oh my gosh. Okay.
No, just kidding. Okay, so yeah, in your opinion, how can one be strong and independent, or like, yeah.
Well, first off, I personally don't believe that strong and independent are um exclusively linked to each other. You
Mm,
can be independent, you're not necessarily strong. That's all right. Um, for me, a person becomes strong and independent, well, obviously when they're capable of doing such. But it's also because I find that you become strong and independent when the thing you're meant to be doing and what you're meant to be handling is something you really care about. Because that's really when all the capability comes through and all the competence and the natural drive to finish and do something well. So I guess it's really the passion someone would have to become strong and independent.
it's the passion.
How was that?
I like it. Okay, 10 points. Ten
Thank you.
points for me. 10 points for me. I'm the judge. 10 points. No, but I like how you started it with, you don't, they don't really go together all the time, and
Yeah,
that that.
it's a hard thing to tread on. I think the word independence. That's why I'm a bit hesitant to say if I'm independent too, because I'm independent can sometimes really sound like or really resemble being alone and feeling the need to work alone to be independent and by false connection strong. And I think that really leads a lot of people into not wanting to take any help for doing things. And
Mhm.
that's been something I've been struggling with too. So I'm a bit passionate about this and thinking that there is strength in getting help from people. And that doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you not independent. It just makes you interconnected.
Definitely, and I agree with you 100%. Thank you for that reminder. It's good to hear things like this from people. It serves also as a reminder to everyone. I know a lot of people are struggling now, since we're all just at home.
Yeah.
So if you guys need help, viewers, don't be scared, don't be shy to ask someone for help, right? I mean, you can take in so much, and you're only human. We're all here to help one another. So thank you,
Truly.
that's why I give you 10 points. I love
Thank
your answer. It's
you.
different, it's a different answer. It's not, that was the first time I heard someone
No,
say that, it doesn't really go together, which is, I come
great.
to think of it. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I'll definitely take those 10 points back.
Okay, so yeah, so as education and advocacy co-head, of course you have your members under you.
Yeah.
um how sorry, I'm so distracted with the Miss Universe
No
questions.
worries.
So
It's
this is why I
fine.
love it, though. I love it. Okay, so of course you have learned some leadership skills, right? Sorry, how long have you been education and advocacy co-head?
I have been education and advocacy co-head since this January. So it's been
Okay,
5 months. Yeah.
all right. Okay, so in the span of 5 months, um, do you think that um, your leadership skills have improved already? Like how did they improve over time, over the
Mhm.
5 months?
Well, I definitely hope so. That's one thing I have to say for sure.
Mhm.
Um, I guess I've never really thought about that, but I'm sure there has been aspects that I've gotten more comfortable doing. Let's say more comfortable, rather than better, because I guess I can't really say for myself. You'd have to ask a community contributor or my fellow co-heads to answer that. But it's definitely been a lot easier to ask help now from the members under me who are helping me um, produce the great content we have for OSIAF right now. 'Cause when I started out, I was really nervous. I wasn't sure how to handle the quote unquote authority. I really didn't want to be too demanding, but I think working with my members for a longer time has really helped me understand boundaries and the relationships we have and what we can ask from each other for sure.
Communication is key. That's
Communication is
what I
key.
right, and having that relationship also with your members and co-heads, it does help. It
Yeah,
definitely does help. All
it
right.
really does.
So yeah. So since okay, so from January up until now, have you ever experienced a time where people sort of uh, they question maybe your capacity to lead? Did you ever experience that? Actually, it doesn't have
Well,
to be as education and advocacy. Go ahead in anything.
yeah,
'Cause you
I
do a
understand.
lot. So, have you ever
Well,
experienced?
luckily, I don't think I've experienced being looked down upon too much. I've been surrounded by so many capable youth leaders who have a lot more experience than I have, but they never once looked down on me. Like, even if I make mistakes, they've been really forgiving, and I've been really lucky to do that. And also, having the support system I have here at home, here in school, um, they've been very supportive of me and have really been looking out for me. And I think if any times people have doubted my capacity, it's not with any ill intent, but it's really just because they're worried that I'm stretching myself too thin or taking up too many things at once at a
Mm.
crucial time, maybe in school. Because I will be honest, there was a time closer to one of my school's bigger exams where there was also a big project going on um, in one of my orgs, and it was really taking a toll on me emotionally. And apparently, my teachers had picked that up, and they had um, taken the time to ask me if I was all right, and that was just really touching. And it was touching after I got over being really insulted that they thought that I couldn't handle it. But that's just me and my teenage brain. But yeah,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm grateful that they took the time to point that out and let me know that there was something that I could be improving on.
Nice. It's so nice to hear. Actually, you know what? Shout out to teachers now. Honestly, I know it's also difficult for them as much as this for the students. I've been hearing a lot of stories. So shout out to them, because not only they become mentors also.
They
So
really do.
yeah, yeah, and it's great to know that the teachers now are they're so hands on now, and it's great. It's great because the students need that.
It's really, really a feat for me to be able to say that I feel that they care for me, even like from where I am sitting at home and where they are sitting at home, and how we only talk through Zoom or through our Schoology app. Yeah, it's amazing. I love my teachers.
Aw. So shout out to Hannah's teachers. Hello po. Okay. So what advice would you give to, let's say, somebody um experienced being looked down on, um there somebody is going through something, and then their his or her team members are just really questioning him or her, what advice would you give to that person?
Well, first of all, I would definitely recommend to really ask first before taking it head on, before considering it. You first check if it's really coming from a place you can trust, if it's someone you care about, if it's someone you think knows enough about you, if they have enough experience with what you do to be able to give some sort of constructive input that you can actually learn from. Then that's the time, I think, definitely not to take it personal. Accept, don't completely shut it out, because there are times when I've been given some criticism and it's pushed me further into an attitude or a behavior that's made things harder for the people I work with. Um, Definitely try to talk to them calmly and like with civility. Maybe ask them to like, what do you mean by that? Things like that. See if it's a thing that you can put your focus on, because sometimes maybe being put down can be really a really bad feeling, but when given the right way and given with the right intention, it's a really good learning experience for everyone involved.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I hope, to those of you who are watching, I hope you're listening to Hannah. So she's here today to share her experiences and thoughts when it comes to, being part of an organization and being also one of the youth leaders of today. Okay. I just wanna we there are like a couple of comments here for you, and I wanna read that out from Esther Mulkand. Great to
Yes,
see and hear you in this program, Hannah. Thank you
that's my
so.
Ninang. Thank you,
Oh, hello
Ninang.
po. Nice to meet you. Hello po, Ninang. Ninang din. Okay. And then
Lola.
we have Patricia Manuel Go. Great job, Hannah. So very natural and articulate. Honestly,
Wow.
she's a natural. She's a natural. I mean,
Thank you. It does not sound like that in my head, but thank you so much for that.
all right. And for those of you who are watching, we still have, of course, the question of the day. Can we flash that, please? Question of the day is, okay, pa-suspense. Ayan. What is freedom? So for those of you who are watching, feel free to answer this question. I know it can be kind of difficult, but I want to hear your thoughts. So comment them down below, and then I will read them at the end of the show. Okay, so we are going to go on a very quick break, but when we come back, we are still going to have Hannah talk about her experiences. So don't leave just yet, and we're going to see you after a couple of minutes.
We'll be back shortly, making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Buckle up and get ready, set, and go. Join Sports Girl anchor Nicole Ganglani as she dives deep into the lives of athletes, fitness personalities, and enthusiasts from the sports industry. This is Sports Watch, only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Welcome to Pride and Proud Asia, Asia's first online radio show that champions LGBT contribution and leadership in business and in our country and the region. Hosted by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, visibility, representation, and empowerment. This is Pride and Proud Asia. Happy Pride! Now back to Making a Difference, only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Welcome back to Making a Difference. So, if you're just tuning in right now, don't worry. we're still here. I'm still here. My name is Erica, and I'm the host of Making a Difference. So, before we dive back to the conversation, we still have the question of the day for the viewers to answer. I want to know your thoughts, especially for this question of the day. Can we flash that again, please? What is freedom? There, I want to know your thoughts. I want to um I just want to know what you guys think of this. What is freedom for you? So, can be opinionated. You can also go to the dictionary, no problem. So, comment your answers down below and I will read them at the end of the show. Okay, so today I've been talking to Hannah Manuel. She is the co head of the education and advocacy team under the online SDG Youth Action Forum or OSYAF. So shout out to the OSYAF team, especially Kay Mark Jacinto. So for those of you who are curious who Mark is, I might just have him on the show one time so that you can finally meet the Mark Jacinto, because everybody here, all my guests, all the organizations that I've had on the show know Mark. So that's how kilala he is, and he became a good friend of mine, so I'll have him on the show. But anyway, Hannah and I, we were talking about what she does for OSYAF and also her other affiliations, what she does for these other affiliations, and we got to know her thoughts also on topics such as leadership and becoming strong and independent as early as now. So I'd like to call back Hannah on screen to continue the conversation that we are having. Hi, Hannah.
Hello again.
How are you doing so far? Okay,
Oh, I'm great. This conversation has been so much fun.
great. I'm glad you're having so much fun, even if Super Miss Universe yung questions natin for today.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. I've never talked about myself for this long, but we're dealing with it. It's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. Now, since Independence Day is fast approaching, so that's next week, by the way, June 12, our Philippine Independence Day. In your own opinion, in what ways can the youth contribute in inspiring others to help their community, especially those who are still kind of unsure? They want to dip their toes into it first, or they're not sure where to begin. What advice can you give?
Yeah, well, I totally understand if people are still hesitant to join. Maybe they aren't sure how they're going to balance their ACADS or any previous commitments they have if they end up going full in into volunteering. So, there it's a spectrum. There are so many opportunities available right now that require really different levels of your time and effort. So there's so many things for people with so many different schedules and priorities. Anyone can join, anyone can be a volunteer. um, there are one-off events, webinars you can attend, workshops, if you want to have longer term commitments, uh, and if you have a specific um, advocacy, anything you're passionate about, there will most definitely be someone in your community who will be able to introduce you to an org, or maybe you'd be able to find it yourself just scrolling through Facebook or Instagram.
Mhm.
There's Advocacy work is never too far away from you, I think. I'd like to think there are
Yeah,
opportunities around every corner, and it's
definitely.
good to take advantage of all of those, but up to your capabilities.
Okay.
There's the problem of being burnt out, taking too many, yung mga people entering college, trying to get into work, those orgs, joining like 5 orgs at a time just to fill up their CV. That's maybe it's I can't invalidate that. That's definitely something some people will want to prioritize. But really, I think the best thing to look for is satisfaction. And
Mhm.
if it's something something you really care about. Because if it's something you really care about, that's when you'll be able to grow really organically, and from there you'll be able to achieve other things you want to do naman eh. Like do things that you want to do while filling up your CV. That's entirely possible. You can do that. That's fine.
Yes.
And
And yeah, go ahead.
I think really just take care of yourself. Like these priorities, like CV, all that thing, those are nothing unless like you're there to do them. So, you know, a friend told me your most powerful asset in helping others is yourself. And that's true. That's super true. So if you feel like you need to take a break, you can do that and you shouldn't feel bad for doing that.
Yes. Yes, that's thank you again for another good reminder. A reminder that I need personally. So thank you so much for that, Hannah.
Yeah.
Don't
Please
forget
rest,
to
Erica.
oh, thank you so much. I got kilig. I got kilig. Okay, but yeah, don't forget to take care of yourselves. Mental health first, physical health first, before everything else. And
100%.
another great answer to the Miss Universe question by Hannah Manuel.
I think I'm getting good at this, you know?
I
Maybe I can.
know. Training. Training na for actually go you and you and Angel. You guys can try. May potential kayo. Okay. So, um as the education and advocacy co-head of OSIAF, what have you learned? So actually not just as an education and advocacy co-head, in everything that you do, all the organizations and affiliations that you're part of. What have you learned so far from all your experiences?
Hmm. Well, I think coming from someone who's always been really shy and very, I guess, insecure about what she can do, um, I think it's really helpful for me to have my default answer be a yes instead of a no. Um, that's obviously if you know that your schedule can permit it. If it's the only thing, if the only thing stopping you is that you're shy or you're just insecure that you can't do it. But if your schedule's clear, if it's something that in terms of logistics you can do, you should definitely do it. With that being said, planning is also so important. Like writing things down, having a planner. I had really, I had really cast that aside because I'm just so tamad to do that myself. But it really works wonders. It makes everything so much more efficient. And it really does the opposite of what you expect, which is like weighing on your brain and like taking too much energy. It helps because it's already there set for you and you don't have to rack your brain every time you agree to something.
Right. I like that. I like that answer. Okay, Hannah, I'm gonna have to unfortunately ask you this question. And I will be asking you the question of the day. And can we flash that again for those of you who have not answered? I've seen already a couple of people answering, and I'm so excited to read them later on in the show. But and by the way, you can, if you're watching, you can still answer this question. What for you is freedom? So in celebration for our Independence Day next week. So Miss Hannah Manuel, what for you? What for you is freedom?
Gosh, I really hope my social studies teacher is not watching because this is something we've definitely covered.
Okay. Wow.
The answer for myself, though,
Mhm.
freedom, I guess you could say freedom is when you don't have anything to prevent you from doing a task or doing something with too much pushback. If you can do something easily, you're free to do that thing. But I think looking deeper, that can really be misconstrued into forgetting that we're free people living with other free people in the world, and all that freedom is going to clash together eventually if you don't have a moral compass, if you don't constantly understand and prioritize that there are other people who deserve their freedom as much as you do. So I think being free of freedom to me is coexisting with people, being able to live without trampling on anyone else's freedom.
Nice. Good.
Nice.
See, you answered it. You did it. You answered the question.
I hope
Okay.
I made my teacher proud.
Yes. Okay, so before I let you go, of course, do you have anything else that you want to say to the viewers for today?
I just really hope that people remember to take care of themselves this year. Like, there's so many things happening. We're in a pandemic. Some people think this is like the end times. It's you cannot be so hard on yourself to feel like you have to be doing things. Some of us may be lucky enough to be stagnant, but we can't ignore that we're still going through something pretty rough, and it's okay to rest.
Definitely. Rest. Rest is all you need, guys. You gotta get your
Rest
sleep.
and friends. Sorry, one
Ah,
more thing.
okay.
Definitely volunteer with friends if you can, because like that's
Oh,
already just taking care of yourself in your own way. Having a support system behind you who can completely relate to what you're going through. Friends
right,
are everything.
right. Surround yourself with positive people, those with the great energy, and those who will like push you to your limits. That's also one thing I've learned. If I could just share, it's good to be surrounded by people who just really push you
Definitely.
to strive and just do your best. So shout out to my friends. You guys know who you are. um you guys have been amazing. So there, any people you want to say hi to, mga shout outs?
Well, I definitely want to say thank you to my titas and ninangs for commenting on the Facebook chat. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I hope you're proud of me. But more importantly, I just wanted to say hi to my Lola because I'm wearing her earrings today as good luck. She gave them to me.
Oh, that's so sweet. Hello po, Lola. Hope
Hi,
you're
Mama
doing
Vina. That's all, I think.
okay. All right. So
I don't
again,
want
if
to make this too long, so
okay, okay, that's good. Short but sweet. And also don't forget to follow Osyaf on Facebook and on Instagram. Get your inspiration there, and go out and start volunteering. Take that step, and Osyaf will be there to help you 100% because they have been helping making a difference. So I can vouch for that, and Hannah too, of course.
definitely. I'll welcome you when you enter Asia, guys.
There you go. All right. So, Hannah, thank you so much for today. Thank you so much
Thank
for this
you.
conversation. I really enjoyed it. It was such a great reminder also to hear those words from you. So, thank you so much, Hannah. And I hope you stay safe. And I hope I get to see you, when this is all done, when this is all over.
I hope we get to see each other too. And take care while the typhoon is going on. I'm not sure if it's exiting our area already, but always best to keep safe, especially now.
Thank you so much, Hannah. So, again, guys, Hannah Manuel, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Hannah.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, and please register to vote for the upcoming presidential elections. Please, that's so
Click that.
important. That's like the number one thing you have to do if you can to to help the community, to practice your freedom.
Definitely. Oh my, please, 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 if you are already above legal age, please do register because every vote matters. Okay, every vote matters. So
Every vote
that's
matters.
a good reminder. See, such a great show today. So much good reminders. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you. I'm
Hannah.
glad to be here.
Thank
So glad
you.
to be a part of this.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye, Hannah. Okay, so that was Hannah Manuel, our lovely guest for today. I enjoyed the conversation, and I hope you all enjoyed the conversation. And I hope you learned from her. You got some inspiration from Hannah, because I know I did. There were such great reminders that she shared, and it's just nice to hear these things from different people. So, of course, before we end the show, I know I said that I will be reading all your answers to the question of the day. So can we flash the question of the day one more time? Baka may humabol pa. What for you is freedom? Okay, and I'm so excited to read your answers. Okay, so first we have Tabawan Bongao. For Tabawan Bongao, freedom is being able to act without restrictions. Freedom is Independence Day. Yes, and advance happy Independence Day to the Filipinos. Okay, Independence Day is on June 12th. Don't forget that. And then next we have Christian Clemente. Freedom is the ability to decide we won't let others define us, and we won't let others own how we feel. I like this one. Thank you so much, Christian. Next, we have Patricia Manuel Go. Okay, a viewer who supported Hannah today. So for Patricia, freedom is not being able to do anything you want when you want. Rather, it is knowing yourself well enough, both your strengths and weaknesses, and what you truly want to do with the gift of your life. So you can make well considered choices that are worthy of your humanity. Thank you so much for your answer, Patricia. And then last, we have Shelly Manuel Toma Cruz. Freedom is not having anything control you, even if it's your emotions or addictions. Nothing should have control over you. Rather, freedom is being clear headed, not coerced, and being able to choose what is right and good. Thank you so much, Shelly, and thank you to everyone else who answered the question of the day: what is freedom? I love all your answers, and again, I love learning from you guys. I learn a lot from my guests and from my viewers as well. So thank you for that. And okay, so announcement next week. Since it's Independence Day, we won't be having a live show, but we will be having a replay. So just watch out for that. Again, please don't forget to follow Making a Difference on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, hi everyone. And then also follow us on Instagram. We're on Instagram as well. If you have any comments, suggestions, or if you want to be featured on the show, please do feel free to reach out to us and I will answer you personally. And also, don't forget to follow and like V81 Radio Manila on Facebook. We have a couple more shows actually, and our V81 Radio Manila family is growing. So I just want to give a special shout out to all the other anchors. I know I haven't seen them in person, but to those other anchors out there and to the team also, hello. And I hope you guys are doing okay. And I hope na magkita-kita na tayo. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. And that would be awesome when we get to see each other. So yeah, so we have a couple more shows you've seen in our commercials. So those are our shows. And that's about it. So if you want to follow me also on Instagram, you can follow me. That's underscore at underscore Erika Mison. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. Again, we are still going through this pandemic, so please don't forget to wear your face masks and face shields as they are required. Don't forget also to practice proper hygiene and also practice social distancing as well. So, again, my name is Erika Mison and stay safe, everyone. I'll see you soon.
the program for the millennials that will showcase young professionals' worth, aspirations, and successes in doing what they believe is right, progressive, and inclusive. Making a difference. Making a difference. Join them as they discover the path to self and societal fulfillment while making a difference. Hosted by empowered and cool millennial Erika Mison. Together with her cool millennials, they will be making a difference every Saturday, 3 p.m. Philippine time. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, your all hits, all Pinoy digital radio station in South Manila. This is V81 Radio.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Dahil mahal